The General Geekery Podcast presents Spooktober.
Caffeine in hand, spooks in the air.
Mm-hmm.
So, we ready for Spooktober?
Hell yeah.
Yes! Let's not waste any time. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the General Geekery Podcast.
Oh, I just broke my pen.
That is indeed some spooks in the air. The power of Spooktober. Hannah has broken her pen.
I wasn't even getting all worked up about racism this time. Remember last time I broke a pen, I was talking about...
Yep, I remember that. That was like, damn! Anyway, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the General Geekery Podcast. The podcast where we love to geek out about all that we love to geek out about with no remorse, no regrets, and with all the enthusiasm in the world.
Indeed.
Take a sip because we said indeed.
Indeed.
Now coming with the General Geekery Podcast drinking game coming soon.
Drinking game coming soon.
As always, this is Donald Kaczynski, your resident coffee ninja by day, actor, gamer, streamer by night, and with me as always, the great Hannah Kubiak, the dice slinger, gamer, and artiste by night, and undertaker during the day.
And night.
And night as well. I don't know. I didn't know if you did it as well as day and night.
I do at night.
She is around the clock, guys.
I'm around the clock.
My God.
On call. When death calls, you gotta go answer.
I can just imagine you dressing up as Death with like the scythe and everything for some reason.
It's less glamorous than that.
We gotta make it more glamorous for you.
Yeah.
We gotta put you in full Death attire with a makeshift skeleton hand.
Yep.
A grisly freaking scythe.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Make me look like I am actually out in the middle of the night on the business of the Reaper.
Yes. But speaking of things that go bump in the night, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the very first edition of Spooktober.
Am I supposed to do something too? Spooktober.
I'll probably edit in some
Spooktober.
I'll probably edit in some spooky music or something like that.
No, leave it exactly like this.
Unedited. So anyway, as always, it's October. Halloween season is around the corner, and even though currently in the realm of 2020 we're all pretty much confined, we can't really do our usual Spooktober traditions, we thought we would talk about some stuff that always interests us, things that go bump in the night, scary stuff, whatever we associate with like October or Halloween, scary stories, whether it be myths, truth, whichever. So, with that in mind, Hannah, you've got the first reign of Spooktober this month. What are we talking about today?
Yes, we are talking about the urban legend of Slender Man. You're more excited about this than I am.
I'm not going to lie. As soon as you came up with this topic, I became a little bit giddy because I'm like, this is actually a really cool thing to talk about. Because there's so much tied in with this myth.
Yeah, it's like mythology or like legend that was created in our time.
It's basically turned into a creepypasta.
Yeah, at first it is a creepypasta. It first came up in 2009. Some of my sources are knowyourmeme.com.
Yay!
Where I got a lot of this stuff. Wikipedia, probably. I forget where I got everything from, but yes, Wikipedia. A article from the Daily Intelligencer.
Mm-hmm.
About the Slender Man stabbing that happened right here in Wauwatosa.
Oh yeah, that's a local Wisconsin thing that has happened.
Local Wisconsin attempted murder based on an urban legend. I'll talk about it in a little bit, but it's definitely weird, and for the sake of the families, I won't go into it too much, but pretty interesting. I wonder how the creator of Slender Man feels about that.
I don't know, but we'll figure it out.
Like, it's not his fault. People grab random stuff all the time. Like, what's his name? The murderer who, he said he was murdering people, to win the love of Jodie Foster.
Oh, Buffalo Bill?
Was it? No, Buffalo Bill is from Silence of the Lambs. But I think it was somebody based off of, that they based Buffalo Bill off of. It wasn't Ed Gein, who's also a Wisconsin boy, by the way.
Why are so many serial killers from Wisconsin?
Too much dairy, man.
What the fuck? Like, in all seriousness, how are there so many famous serial killers related to Wisconsin?
Yeah, Ed Gein. What's his name? The other cannibal. Ooh. No, what is his name?
It'll come back to us.
Jeffrey Dahmer.
Jeffrey Dahmer, there we go.
He's Wisconsin. He's a Wisconsin boy.
Mm-hmm.
Stop saying boy. He's a Wisconsin cannibal. That even sounds even worse somehow.
That does!
Local Wisconsin cannibal, Jeffrey Dahmer.
We're not all cannibals.
No. Okay, so, Slender Man, a.k.a. Slender Man, one word. I don't know what that means.
Yeah, they do it as one whole word.
Slender Man.
Yeah, they do it as one word and they do it as two separate
Slender
words.
Man. It's a mythical creature. According to Know Your Meme, he's a mythical creature depicted as a tall, thin figure wearing a black suit and a blank face. He is rumored to be able to stretch or shorten his arms at will. He has tentacle-like appendages protruding from his back. So think like super stretched out, emaciated Doc Ock.
Eek.
Yeah. So there's different interpretations of the myth that say that this creature can cause memory loss, insomnia, paranoia, coughing fits, nicknamed slender sickness, and he photograph and video distortions, and he can teleport at will. So, the urban legend, it's inspired a lot of stuff. Fan arts, creepypastas, and also like mockumentary series. Kind of in the style of the Blair Witch Project. I started watching. I watched a little bit of this. Where is it? I just wrote it down. This web series called Marble Hornets. It's a YouTube channel.
Yeah.
And the web series began June 20th, 2009, which is only 12 days after the first mention of Slender Man came into the world, into the internet.
Yep.
He also has a lot of other nicknames, including the Operator, Der Grossman, which is German, Mr. Slim, the Administrator, Daddy Longlegs, Mr. Thin, the Tall Man, the Thin Man, and Slendy.
which some of them have actually been addressed in games that they have done with him.
Yeah.
Well, most notably, and a lot of people know this because this game blew up big in 2012, Slender the 8 Pages.
Oh, yes. I watched a section of, a playthrough of that.
I've played that game.
So freaky. Where you have to try not to look at him or something?
Yeah, pretty much. Like he's chasing you. You have to collect 8 pages, and he's constantly chasing it. You have no way to fight back.
Look! Scam Likely is calling me again.
It's basically minimalist survival horror at its finest.
Yep.
It's so simple, but it's so terrifying at times.
I remember being on a bus ride at night when I was studying abroad in Austria, and the people in the seat in front of me were playing that game, the 8 Pages, on their laptop, and I was kind of watching because I was freaking bored. And so every 5 minutes or so, they would just jump up and writhe in their seats and scream and stuff. Okay, so the origin of Slender Man. On June 8th, 2009. Oh, actually, no, it was okay. On June 8th, 2009, there was this Photoshop contest launched on the Something Awful forums. The contest asked participants to turn ordinary photographs into creepy-looking images through digital manipulation and pass them on as authentic photographs. So people started to share these sort of faux paranormal creations with they take a normal picture and put something creepy in it, like a ghost in the background or something like that. And on June 10th, this guy named Victor Surge, that's not his real name, that's like his internet name,
right,
posted 2 black and white photographs of unnamed children with the description of a Slender Man as a mysterious creature who stalked the children. So, Donald, I'm going to show you the 2 pictures that, what's his name? The 2 pictures that Victor Surge submitted to this contest. And, kind of like creepy Where's Waldo.
Oh, nice.
Well, in one of them, someone has been kind enough to circle him for you, but look at that one. This one's at a little playground. It's mostly a little girl on the swing.
Oh god, that's terrifying.
Do you see him?
It's the silhouette in the back right there, right?
That guy right there. Yeah,
oh god.
Yeah, you can see his little tentacles.
Like literally, it's just a black figure just standing in the background, just staring.
The thing that is weird to me in this picture is how close some of the kids are to him.
Stop!
They're facing him and stuff.
Get him away from those children.
Yeah. So yeah, and
I'm sorry, headphone users.
Drink. And then here's another one. Here's another one, okay. And it's also a bunch of children.
Okay.
Oh, turn it the other way.
Yeah, so say have it upside down. Wait, is it that white blurb?
Yeah, that thing right there, that's him. That's like his head and his white shirt front. But then the rest of it kind of just melts into the background.
It looks like the silhouette of the Mr. Burns alien from that one Twilight Zone episode of The Simpsons.
Oh, I think it looks kind of like the Greendale human being from Community.
Yeah, I'm just expecting him to come out of the bushes and just say, "I bring you peace."
Oh goodness.
I'd be like, no, thank you.
For our drinking game, we should have people take a drink every time one of us does a weird impression.
They'd be dead in the first 15 minutes.
They'd be wasted. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, these are the 2 originals. The OG Slender Man made by Victor Surge. So yeah, if you type in Slender Man Victor Surge, you should be able to find them. It's just kids on the playground in the 60s. But there's a Greendale human being in the background.
His real name was Eric Knudsen.
Knudsen.
Yeah, I believe the K is silent.
Oh, Knudsen.
I'm assuming.
I can see why you changed his name.
I'm assuming.
Victor Surge, a.k.a. Eric Knudsen. Victor Surge went one more step in this, and he added little subtitles to these pictures, as though they were reports from a library or something, like an actual report of an incident. So, there's the first one. It says, "We didn't want to go. We didn't want to kill them, but its persistent silence and outstretched arms horrified and comforted us at the same time. 1983, photographer unknown, presumed dead." And
nice.
Yeah, and he also included this description of where these photographs, quote unquote, came from. One of 2 recovered photographs from the Sterling City Library blaze, notable for being taken the day at which 14 children vanished, and for what is referred to as the Slender Man. Deformities cited as film defects by officials. Fire at library occurred 1 week later. Actual photograph confiscated as evidence. 1986, photographer, Mary Thomas, missing since June 13th, 1986.
This is like some Blair Witch Project type shit.
Yeah,
Like for those not familiar with how Blair Witch Project went, basically it was an entire setup of this horror film from 1994 where they basically used the still infant internet to basically do this horror film that was portrayed as almost like a true story that happened to these kids, and they played it up.
Yeah.
This has got that similar kind of vibe to that.
Yeah, I can kind of see the vibe of the creepy news story or documentary sort of style that they go with. Like in the Blair Witch with the guy standing and facing the corner or whatever. Just there's something so creepy about a person just standing.
Minimalism creates so much.
Yeah, I think that's why this is such a cool urban legend, is because it's not overtly scary. And the funny thing is that I was looking at all these pictures online of different like creations of the Slender Man, and like in photographs and stuff.
Yeah.
And I found that the more obvious it was, the less scary it was.
Yeah, that's...
Like, if you look at it and it looks normal at first, and then you kind of look again and you see him, like, in the back, or kind of, like, you think he's a tree for a second. Just, like, that feeling of something that you thought was normal is not actually. It's just, ugh.
Yeah. That's kind of the thing that, like, Slender Man kind of, like, got to that, unfortunately happens with a lot of things. Overexposure can kill the mystique, the intrigue, and the suspense around it.
Yeah.
And it got to that point with Slender Man for a while, and then something happened, which brings a lot of stuff into question, but I'll keep quiet about that until we get to that. Because I know that's a thing that has to be brought up.
Yeah. Okay, so there's a couple of things that are sort of like precursors to Slender Man that it's kind of based off of. And Victor Surge said that he based his Slender Man off of something from Stephen King's The Mist.
Yep, I can see that parallel. I know exactly what he's talking about.
And H.P. Lovecraft's Cthulhu Mythos.
Oh my god.
Like, that's where the tentacles come into play, probably.
Always had to bring in H.P. Lovecraft.
Yeah, and...
I bet you dollars to donuts several of the creatures from Stephen King's The Mist were actually probably based on H.P. Lovecraft as well.
Yeah.
I would not put it past King.
Yeah.
Knowing the amount of stuff that, like, King has done, he would probably do that.
Yeah. We should do an episode about Lovecraft.
That would be a fun one.
Oh, yeah. I'd have to read some more of it, though. I've read a couple of them, but not too many.
Well, we still have more of Spooktober to go.
Yes, we do.
That'll be for later. Right now it's Slender Man. What do we got?
Slender Man, yeah. The precursors, he also based it off of something from Resident Evil. Do you know what I might be talking about?
Just do you have more description on that?
Nope, just Resident Evil. It was like his inspirations included H.P. Lovecraft, Stephen King's The Mist, and...
Okay, if he's basing it on Resident Evil, and I say this as a huge fan of the Resident Evil franchise, he's either basing it off of Nemesis, probably Nemesis from Resident Evil 3.
Okay.
Or probably anything from the Tyrant series from the first 3 games.
Yeah.
Those who know Resident Evil will know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah. And apparently he also got a little bit of an idea of this sort of creepy thing that appears in trees and forests. He got an idea of that from this thing called a Mothman, which is another sort of urban legend.
Oh yeah, that one is
showed up in, like, what's it called?
Is it
Pleasant.
Pleasant Hills?
No, it's PP.
Prairie?
No, it's not Pleasant Prairie. No, it's like, yeah, Pleasant Plains.
Okay.
And, like, the Mothman is said to come from a lot of, like, it has a similar kind of origin to Slender Man, but it's a lot older. There's, like, stuff about it maybe is a curse set on this particular set of land after some sort of battle between colonists and Native Americans or something. But yeah, just like that creepy American woods creature vibe is there that sort of came down.
Yeah.
They didn't say this, but it also, I didn't find this anywhere in the research, but it also makes me think of the Wendigo. Which is basically a human that went crazy in the woods and cannibalized.
Basically, I think it's like a Native American type of mythos. Basically, it's like a evil spirit possession of one that has resorted to cannibalism.
Yeah. It's sort of like the devouring of human flesh makes them into something not quite human anymore.
Yeah.
Which completely debunks the "you are what you eat" thing, but no. We're not talking about Wendigos.
So you mean to tell me that somehow, somewhere out there, the Donner Party still exists as Wendigos? Oh, we're screwed, guys. we are screwed.
There's this other creature in Germany called Der Grossmann, pronounced Grossman. Mm-hmm. It's German for the great man, and is often translated into says creepypastas as the tall man. It's German folklore. It's a tall boogeyman from as far back as the 16th century.
Okay.
And it was sort of one of those like things that parents would say to you, where they're like, "Don't go into the woods because the Grossman will get you." Yeah,
that does make sense. Like, because any media that Slender Man has appeared in, it always has like the appearance of like him towering over.
He's like
the victims,
freakily tall. Here is a picture of the Grossman.
The Grossman.
See the similarities there. It's big and hulking and spidery and kind of has sort of branch-like twiggy arms.
Yeah.
Long fingers.
Actually, looking at that, he actually does remind me of a certain enemy from Resident Evil 4.
Yeah? Oh,
like I can actually see, I can actually see, like, okay, I know of, like, two enemies now, like, since they're based off of that from Resident Evil that they're talking about. It's, like, the Tyrant series, and then, a certain enemy from Resident Evil 4 that's basically able to, like, grow, like, spider-like appendages and separate his body and stuff. It's weird.
Yeah.
I should have you play Resident Evil one of these days.
Oh, yes. There's just something really creepy about something that's vaguely humanoid, but weird.
Yeah, I do agree with that.
Like the alien from Alien.
Yep.
Kind of like that. It's kind of like a big hulking person with longish limbs, and it's like
one of the most classic alien designs of all time. Mm-hmm. God bless you, Xenomorph.
Yep. Oh man. And yeah, after Slender Man came up, there's been lots of stuff based off of Slender Man as well, or just you can see the connection there.
Yeah.
So like I said before, the Marble Hornets web series, there's like 100 episodes on there, and it's basically
yeah, they did a Slender Man one, right?
Yeah. I think it's called Marble Hornets.
Yeah.
The series began on June 20th, 2009, which is, I'm correcting myself here, 10 days after Victor Surge posted his Slender Man pictures to Something Awful.
Oof.
But yeah, so what the web series Marble Hornets is based off of is, well, no, it's not based off of. The plot of it is basically a student has these videotapes that were abandoned by a friend of his who was trying to make a movie, but then the guy trying to make the movie started to get really paranoid and started just coughing all the time and just basically and snapping at his crew and stuff and just getting really unstable, and so he abandoned the project, but his friend kept the videotapes and is going through them. And so each video is like I found this clip in one of the videos seems kind of interesting. And I watched because in these videos, basically what's happening is the film was abandoned because it was being tampered with by something called the Operator, which basically is Slender Man.
Yeah.
And if you watch, I watched a compilation of kind of moments when the Operator appears in the Marble Hornets. Sometimes it's really subtle. Sometimes it's...
Over the top?
Yeah, sometimes it's over the top. There was one where this girl is filming this guy on he's just sitting at his laptop. She's like, "Hey, what are you doing?" And he's like, "Nothing." And then she like turns and Slender Man is like in the hallway, and then the camera like goes all wild and stuff. But yeah, the movie is basically about how this film was being tampered with by the Operator, and there was these shots of this symbol. Looks like that. It's a circle just with an X through it, and it's said to either bring the Operator closer to you or repel him. It depends. I don't know exactly. But there's like shots in Marble Hornets of entire rooms just with that symbol everywhere on the walls. Like here, it would be all over there. It might be on the ceiling, all that stuff.
Yeah, that's terrifying.
Which brings to mind, for me, something else that is kind of in the same vein as Slender Man, which you would enjoy, is The Silence from Doctor Who.
Oh, God.
So The Silence is a fictional religious order or movement.
Silence, Doctor. Sorry, I had to do that.
Yeah. Led by an alien race of the same name, The Silence, in Doctor Who, with a design inspired... The design is inspired by Munch's famous painting, The Scream, which is basically like the guy with the stretched out face and his hands.
Yep.
Yeah.
That one.
And
but it also has aspects of like H.P. Lovecraftian horror, and of course like it has like that Slender Man mythos, like entwined into its origin. Which, in all honesty, like that's probably like one of the best newly designed creatures that Doctor Who ever introduced, just from a design standpoint. It's so striking.
It's so good. Like, the creatures are depicted, they're alien, tall men wearing a black suit, white shirt, necktie, and they have strange, like, twisted, featureless faces. And the weird thing about them is they are reported to have some kind of mind control power that makes people have memory loss when they look away after seeing them, which is kind of similar to the abilities shown by the Operator in Marble Hornets' version of the Slender Man myth.
Yep.
He can kind of warp film and stuff like that. And
Perception.
Yeah. The interpretations of the myth. The creature may cause memory loss, insomnia, paranoia, photograph video distortions, and can teleport at will. So it was really creepy in Doctor Who, when you'd see one of these things, and you'd be like, "Oh my gosh!" and then you'd look away, and they'd be gone. They like teleport away, and then you'd forget that you saw them.
Exactly, and during the time that they can see it, like it's basically like instilling a command via like hypnosis and things like that. And they just install this into you. And it's just like...
They'll just mind control you, and then you have no idea about it because you'll forget instantly. So they started to do this thing where every time they saw one, they would, like, mark on their skin, like a hash mark with, like, a Sharpie or something. And there was some thing where they're, like, somebody is running somewhere, and then they get in front of a mirror, and there's just, like, hash marks all over their face and their arms and everything. It's like they've been seeing the silence over and over and over and over again.
It's a striking visual.
Forgetting about it, which kind of reminds me of the Operator symbol, like the 0 with the X through it, just being plastered everywhere.
Yeah.
And, sort of this thing that you it's scary because you...
Yeah.
Like, how does somebody basically doodling on themselves seem so creepy?
Again, minimalism can create, like, the most suspense.
Yeah. Okay.
Actually, before we move on, can I actually share something?
Absolutely not.
No, don't worry. This is related to it.
Yeah.
So, while we were talking about that, I was actually reminded they actually made a Slender Man horror film back in like 2018. It wasn't.
Oh,
yeah,
I saw the trailer for it. I think
it was not. like a really good film or anything like that. But one thing that I really took away from it was the person who played the Slender Man, who was probably one of my favorite actors to ever see in horror films. His name is Javier Botet. He is well, hold on, I'll show you a picture of him.
Javier Botet. Holy crap! Okay.
For those who are familiar with Javier Botet, he has a very striking appearance. He's very tall, very skinny. He's been in a lot of different horror films where his unique body structure has made him perfect for like body horror. One of the most notable ones was in the Wreck film series where he played the source of the infection for all that, Tristana Medeiros. Definitely, which I will bring up a picture of that because it.
I need to see that movie, Wreck.
Yeah,
that's the one that interested me most from, what was it, episode 2, when we talked about horror movies?
I need to sit you down and like have you watch that with me.
I have since watched all the Conjuring movies.
I think he was in one of the Conjuring movies too.
And The Nun.
I think he was in one of the Conjuring movies. He was also in he was also in both iterations of the new Stephen King It movies.
Oh.
Have you seen those at all?
No.
Okay. Just wondering. He played a certain person in those, which I'm like, oh my god. But yeah, like he's a very tall and like his figure is almost perfect for like portraying like the Slender Man. Okay, okay, this was Tristana Medeiros from Wreck.
What?
That is a girl. Like
he played her?
Yeah, he played her.
Oh man.
There's an entire thing about that, but like my god,
she's like oh gosh, yeah, she's creepy.
Like and besides like the makeup like transforming like the face and everything like that, that's mostly his body.
Yeah, physicality and stuff. It's kind of like what was it in that live action movie of Death Note, and Willem Dafoe played Ryuk.
Yeah, it's just like with his voice and everything like that. Like you can perfectly see that coming out of this animated character.
And apparently, yeah, his actual face they didn't really have to change or the size of his mouth at all.
They really didn't. Like even though like they kept his face mostly like covered in like shadow and everything like that and turned around, like you didn't really need to show much of his facial expressions to express it, and he was like one of the only highlights of that weird, confusing, wrenching film.
It was okay.
Wasn't as bad as everyone was saying, but
yeah,
wasn't good.
Yeah,
it was not good.
That happens to me a lot, where I see a movie that people have been saying, "Oh man, it's horrible, never watch it," and then I watch it, and I'm expecting to see basically like a piece of flaming garbage, and then I'm like. I mean, that was garbage, but it wasn't on fire, so there's that.
It was garbage. That was not flaming garbage. Dragon Ball Evolution is flaming garbage in terms of anime live-action adaptations. But we don't talk about that. Anyway, back to something a little more lighthearted, Slender Man.
Back to something a little more lighthearted, the Slender Man
Sorry,
stabbing.
guys. We got off track there.
The Slender Man stabbing. Okay.
Oh, we're finally at that part?
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
trigger warning, folks!
Yeah, so this happened on May 31st, 2014. 2 Waukesha girls stabbed another girl at David's Park on May 31st, 2014. One of them did the stabbing. She stabbed this girl 19 times.
Oof.
So, they were both 12 years old.
Yep.
I think all 3 of the girls were 12 years old. And they were trying to kill this girl to please, quote from the New Yorker article from the Daily Intelligencer, a mythical internet horror creature named Slender Man, a tall, thin, faceless man in a suit who has tentacles growing out of his back and preys on children. Mm-hmm. The idea, one of the girls explained, as if giving a book report, she explained it, was to become proxies or puppets of Slender Man through murder, an initiation ritual requiring a blood sacrifice. The girls told officers that, according to this logic, the other girl's death would earn them Slender's protection. The They were going to go and live with him in a mansion in the forest, morphing somehow into mini monsters, not unlike the way humans who've been bitten by vampires are said to become vampires themselves.
This was an entire weird combination of, like, the fucking Salem witch trials and goddamn, like, Dracula.
Yeah. It happened in 2014.
It's stomach churning.
Yeah, it's awful. And good news, though, the girl who they attacked, she survived.
That's the part that I'm surprised about. The
Yeah.
fact that she was able to survive and get away from that.
They stabbed her, thought she was dead, and they left her in the woods, and she managed to crawl to the road, and a cyclist found her, and they took her to the hospital, so she survived. The other two were charged with attempted murder in the first degree. They were tried as adults, and they were trying to plead not guilty by, like, mental instability and everything like that. And trying to, yeah.
And that didn't go through.
No, they were ruled to be mentally competent, and one of them, kind of more like the ringleader, the one that this sort of fantasy took deeper hold in. I guess maybe it's a delusion. I guess.
Yeah.
A delusion is where it's something that you believe, and a hallucination is something that you see.
Yeah.
Okay, so
that is the distinction.
She also had hallucinations, but because they later found out that she actually had schizophrenia, which is kind of rare for a 12-year-old apparently. But there was some quote where she was describing what it was like to stab a person, and she said, "I was surprised that I felt no remorse," which I don't know.
Yeah. There were, like...
It sucks.
Yeah.
I don't understand why.
And for those wondering why we're not saying the names of the kids, like, this is out of respect for them, because this was a horrible thing.
Their families.
Yeah, the respect for them and their families. Well, not respect for the people that did it, but I mean, like...
Yeah. Well, like, yeah,
we've got no business prying around in that.
Well, I mean... Their names are on the internet and everything, so
yeah.
if you really want to know, but
you can go check it out. But out of respect for the families of the family of the victim, like, we do not want to do that.
Yeah, it's not really relevant.
But another thing about that, like, that was like one of the main arguments that also, like,
these are their mugshots.
Yeah, there it is.
12-year-olds.
My God.
Mm-hmm. So
like from what I read, like the sentences they got were for like 25 to 40 years.
Yeah, I actually didn't write down.
Like they got hit hard.
Yeah.
Last I checked, and they're still trying to repeal to this day.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, like, it was one of the things from this event was like one of the main arguments in like the constant argument to this day about like security on the internet for like parental guidance and everything like that, which still plagues major platforms like YouTube and stuff to this day.
Yeah,
to this day.
Yeah, but they're just little girls.
Yeah, they are, but again, like,
I'm trying to remember. I think this girl here is the one who did the actual stabbing, and she was a little bit more of a a follower, kind of. Like, she wasn't the initiator of all this stuff. She just kind of joined in. Right. But they were both tried for attempted first-degree murder.
I just looked this up, and this was another... Like, this stabbing, everything like that, was actually, like, put into the plotline of, like, different, like, TV shows. Like, Law & Order SVU, Criminal Minds. Like, there was a documentary film that HBO did on this. Like... My God.
Yeah. Honestly, as far as like parental restrictions and stuff on all of this, like, if a child is that mentally ill, they're gonna find a way to do stuff like that, even without the internet.
Yeah. True.
The internet is a tool. That can be used improperly. It's not bad in and of itself, you know? And also, I don't think, like, the guy who made the original
This was
picture.
This was not intended for this.
No, it's just it's a creative, cool thing that most people would look at and be like, "Oh, that's really interesting." But then for some minds, like people with schizophrenia,
that took it way too far.
Especially children.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, kind of a fun, not really a fun one, but an interesting story about this. Like, I originally learned about this back in like 2014, 2015, actually through my little brother, who was really into the internet and everything like that. Like, he was just online all the time, and he was actually freaked out by like the Slender Man mythos because of this. So he was. You
mean the stabbing?
Yeah, of the stabbing and everything like that. He was my little brother. Shout out to you, Zach. Hope you're doing well, buddy.
What up, man?
He was the one that informed me about like all this stuff, and that's why when I researched more into that, I'm like, Jesus.
Yeah.
Seriously, why is it always Wisconsin?
I don't know.
Why is it always Wisconsin? I don't mean to make this like a fun, lighthearted one, but seriously, why is it always Wisconsin? It's
because we're between Illinois and Minnesota.
Son of a bitch.
Okay, so now that we've talked about Slender Man,
why can't it ever be Oregon?
Why? Oregon. Let's play a game. It's called Where's Slender Man?
Hey!
I've got four pictures here that people have put Slender Man into. Go ahead and try and find him.
Oh, great.
I'll put these on the Instagram as well. You have fun. This is I'm sorry, I didn't realize this is a really hard game for you because you have to hold it so close to your face.
No, okay, so that one right there is that one?
Nope.
Damn.
Yeah, that one's kind of hard because he looks like a building.
Oh.
Do you see him?
Vaguely. Hold on. Flashlight!
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't think about this at the time.
No, you're good. You're good.
Hold it right up to your face.
No, it's good. I'll play along. Wait, is it the one like really like right at the edge of everything?
Point to it.
Where my thumb is.
Nuh-uh.
Damn. Okay.
Okay, come back to that one. Look at another one.
I failed at that one.
That one right there that you're looking... Oh, no, actually, no.
Oh, this bottom one is so dark.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. I blame myself for being blind.
It's not your fault you're blind, man.
Oh, man, I can't... Oh, this one's rough. I can't do this. I'll come back to that one.
Yep. All right.
So far, I'm 0 for 2, guys. I'm 0 for 2. I am a failure.
Are you looking at the one with all the people standing by the fog?
This one right here?
Yeah.
Yep, that's what I'm looking at right now. Oh, wait, right up there.
Woo,
right up there.
You got one. Yeah. I think this one's my favorite one because he's just...
That one's really hard. You have to literally shine a light on in order to, like, find that one.
Okay, and then this one. Try it.
Oh, God.
He looks like a tree.
What even is this?
Just look right in the middle.
Oh,
there
wait.
he is. Yeah.
Yeah, that's so... Okay. 2 for 4. 2 for 4.
Okay.
50%. That's passing in this case.
Come on back. Are you going to look again, or do you want me to point them out?
Yeah,
the other two?
Yeah, you can point them out.
Okay. So, these are some children, and then their dog.
Okay.
And then here he is, right here.
Oh my God! Okay, for some reason in my mind, I'm always picturing the version of like him just like appearing like as like a tall human, as opposed to like one with like more of a tentacly appearance. So that's what threw me off.
Yeah. So that one's a little bit more in line with the this image that they have of him, the original one by Victor Surge,
right?
With, like tentacles.
Oh.
Behind the lady with the
more of the Lovecraft inspired one.
Yep. And then here he is, right here.
Oh, damn it, I was so...
His head and his tie, and he just kind of looks like he's part of the building.
I was so close!
I know.
Damn it!
Oh, it's a fun game. Some of them I was looking at, and I literally could not find him. I was like, is this just a joke?
My God. The wonderful things.
Anyway, that's fun.
That was fun.
Oh, man, yeah. So, yeah. Imagination is a double-edged sword.
Indeed it is. This is probably like one of the most notable and probably one of the most famous creepypastas to like ever hit the internet.
Yeah.
One of the most notable in like the most recent years.
Yep. I'll say.
And the fact that it got this big of a following, like, let's see. Pictures based on it, entire legend, mythos based around it, several different games, documentaries, TV show mentions, web series, fan arts. My God, the fan arts of Slender Man are are both inspiring and creepy, and also kind of questionable. But we don't talk about Rule 34 here. Oh. But also that
I should make one for the
episode,
for the Patreon.
Do it. Well, we don't have the Patreon yet.
Maybe we will by the end of the month.
One year spectacular. But
yeah, we could open the Patreon the day we release the 52nd episode.
We should do that
instead of live. If you're in the process of moving, instead of doing the live episode, we can have it be the anniversary episode / Patreon launch.
Yeah, we can do that.
That'd be cool. Okay, it's official.
You agree, audience?
Yep.
Audience agrees.
I'm writing it in my notes.
But yeah, just to put a cap on all this, just like the Slender Man mythos, again, one of the most inspired and just taken by storm, creepypastas this century that is most notable.
Yep.
And the amount of stuff that it has inspired, both good and absolutely terrible, is incredibly noteworthy.
Yeah. Yeah. I sometimes think to myself, there are so many awesome, ancient Greek and Roman myths, Norse mythology and stuff, and I think America doesn't have that much mythology.
Well,
we're just so young.
Well, aside from a Native American mythology, but again, in terms of colonial America, with how the colonies formed and all that stuff, we don't really have that. I believe the Slender Man is one of the few ones that have created all that. Yeah.
Another thing that I suspect is kind of based off of this sort of doctored old photograph thing is Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children.
Ah!
That one, basically, the author collects weird old photographs, and he has them in the book. And the main creature that plagues the main character is this strange beast with tentacles in his mouth. That's what he draws. Right? I think so.
So that's where Matt Groening got the inspiration with that episode of Futurama. except that one took a much more weird turn. But
oh goodness.
I'll explain later. This one was weird.
Don't even get me started with all the warlock jokes I've heard. Oh man. All right. I'm done talking about this.
All right. Thank you so much, Hannah, for bringing this topic in for the first edition of Spooktober. Spooktober! And thank you guys once again for listening to this episode of the General Geekery Podcast. As always, we appreciate your viewership, listenership, whichever ship.
If they have a viewership of this, I'm very scared because we don't film anything.
Technically we're recording our voices, and it's technically kind of a viewership because they go up as photos on YouTube. But you know what? As videos on YouTube. But so you know what? Listenership. You know what?
That's true. If they want to just watch our logo, a still frame of our logo for 45 minutes, that's their affair.
Stuff like that has happened with albums on YouTube, but that's a different thing. But anyway, thank you guys so much again for listening in for this episode of the General Geekery Podcast. As always, we appreciate you guys listening in on us rambling about all the good stuff. And don't forget to follow us on all of our social media. We are on Facebook and Twitter at Gen Geek Podcast, and on Instagram at General Geekery. Hannah, where can they check you out at?
Well, you can find me rolling dice with my party every Monday at 7:30, at 7:30 Central, on twitch.tv/Loaded Dice Adventures. I play Petra, the Dragonborn Ranger Rogue. And you can also listen to me in my other podcast that I do with my mom called Splankniks, where we talk about art, culture, and tabletop gaming, all from the perspective of two different generations. You can also find, if you're looking for more Spooktober fun, you can go to voicesfoundrep.com, voicesfoundrep.com, where my theater company has created a virtual Halloween party kit. It's got cool stuff like a trivia game you can do to win prizes. There's a costume contest you can do to win prizes.
I can't wait to see what you do for that.
Yeah, I am really excited. Right after this, I'm going to be going home and getting out my sewing machine because I came here from Joann's. I have the fabric in my car.
Nice.
There's recipes and stuff. Also, I am writing a spooky story that we're going to post that people can read. It's gonna be awesome.
Excellent.
So go to voicesfoundrep.com if you need some sort of Halloween stuff. If the quarantine's got your Halloween spirit down, head on over there. We got a lot of spooky people on our board who have a lot of cool ideas. So
amen to that.
Check it out.
I can vouch for that as having worked with them so much and known them for years. They do have some very warped, twisted minds when it comes to the fun of Halloween.
Woo!
In the best way.
Oh man, I wish that the contacts I used for Vanya Hargreaves last year hadn't dried out.
Oh,
because I would do that again. That was so much fun.
Yeah, it was.
It's like the black eyeliner and the almost milky white eyes.
Beautiful.
Just freaking people out. I gotta get better contact lenses for that in that case.
True.
I'm gonna redo that costume sometime.
One of these days.
But not this year.
Not this year. Someday. And as for me, you guys can check me out on social media on Twitter and Instagram at RyuzakiMK7. You guys can also check me out on twitch.tv at RyuzakiMK7 as well, where I play a bunch of different varieties of games, from RPGs to other things entirely. Something special I'm doing this month for October. I'm doing a playthrough of Resident Evil 4, a game I have not played in over 8 years. So yeah, shooting infected people, monsters, and all that good stuff. So head on over to twitch.tv and check that out as well. Also, another thing that you guys can check me out at is the first time we're doing this live. I know I did a pre-recorded thing at the end of the last episode, but if you guys want to hear some stuff that I do for voice acting and stuff please check out the new podcast series, Tales from the Heliosphere, that is created and narrated by our good friend, Mr. Andrew Kelly, who we had as a guest for the Dungeons & Dragons tabletop episode of the General Geekery podcast.
Yeah.
I play several different voices in that story as well. It is a great, great story and an awesome listen. Please go check him out. It's much appreciated, and I always love doing some awesome voice work with people that I love working with.
Well, yeah.
So, yeah, definitely go check that out. So, thank you guys so much again for listening to this first edition of Spooktober for the General Geekery podcast, episode 49, all about the Slender Man.
Is it episode 49?
It's episode 49.
What was episode 48?
Episode 48 was talking about cartoons.
Oh.
It was all.
And then what was episode 47?
47 was the one we were talking about streaming.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
We got too many episodes. We got a lot of stuff.
That checks out. All right.
That's fair. So, until next time, guys, Spooktober has only just begun. For Hannah Kubiak, I'm Donald Kozinski, and until next time, keep your geek on. May the spooks be always grand. And,
you said it already, but say it again.
Keep your geek on.
Always.
Clink, clink.
Clink.
Farewell!
Goodbye. Come and play with us.
Damn it!
Come and play with us.
Thank you again for listening. Special thanks to The Twilight for this episode's intro and outro track, Self-Delete. You can check this song out in the description below, or, if you so desire, please follow The Twilight on soundcloud.com/The Twilight. Thank you again, and a happy Spooktober to you all.